Cool, and we're done. We're still technically live, so
Yeah,
I know you got to get to your thing, but so if you need to drop, go for it.
Really, it's only 11:22.
Yeah, we're trying to
we're
get
talking for longer than that.
Oh yeah, time flies, dude. We're trying to have this wrapped up by 1:30. So if you're good to hang out for 8 minutes,
that's what I told everyone until 11:30. So,
cool. So chat. Let's see if anybody has any Q&As. For us. I know there's tons of conversation. Thanks, Happy, for actually watching the chat and being able to kind of jump in on somebody who said that. I'm always kind of like feel guilty because I'm like, oh man, I want to engage. So
I'm a man of constantly distracting myself. Like if anyone asks you, like you'll just randomly see me with like this in the middle of the show sometimes because the freaking Square Enix team gave it to me for Dissidia. So I was just like, oh, okay. So I'll just do that, and then I'll look at it, then I'll look at the chat, then I look down at my
It's a totally different
tablet.
skill set. What? Totally different skill set.
I got streaming. I got a question for Happy because it's like there's one thing I want to do address for Barmonk talking about another dimension. I'm wondering if he's talking about Eureka or if he's talking about the new background color. We traveled to a new dimension.
Probably the new background color.
Maybe.
I'd have to imagine.
The Happy so 2018's been insane game wise, right? Yeah, Monster Hunter, you got Lost Sphere, you got 14, then you're playing Dissidia. What's your best game for 2018 so far? Like what's your highlight for the first quarter of this year? Like outside your mobile app. Mobile apps don't count.
No, I wouldn't have used that anyway. That's tough. Monster Hunter's been really good today.
Oh, dude, it's
yeah, I think I'll go with Monster Hunter so far. I think I'll make that my my big one is Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
I gotta say my biggest surprise was Lost Sphere because I went into that with really low expectations, and I was very happy with it. I still think they overcharged $50. It's a little ambitious after I Am Setsuna, but still, if you can get it for 40, it's definitely a solid purchase.
I think you're gonna see that game definitely drop down to 40. The thing I actually enjoy about Lost Sphere, it's a good game. But then also with the Nintendo Switch itself, it just gives me the ability to play it, capture, stream it if I need to, or pick it up and lay on the couch and play it, way comfortable.
See, I have an office, so that's never an option for me. I never pick up my Switch to go play somewhere else in the house. If I'm playing, it's because like
you're streaming.
It's wonderful.
I'm producing something.
Yeah,
usually.
I have to travel some for work, and like just picking it up and just leaving, it's awesome. The Switch is just the most beautiful genius design that I never knew I needed.
See, because I don't travel with it much, I have no appreciation for the hardware of that device.
Yeah,
because I don't.
Then it's just like give me a dedicated machine. I don't need to hold it, handheld.
I'd even be okay if there was a dock that actually made it stronger and not just upscaled the resolution.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you just gave me a dock that had like actual technology inside of it.
I wonder if that's going to be something later because it is such a modular type system that they could easily do a Switch 2 where it's like you still got your Joy-Cons, you still have all this, just dock the new screen or here's the new Switch 2 dock that does these different kinds of things.
The Switch S.
But we're talking about like I'm thinking 4 or 5 years down the road from now. Will Nintendo like ever release any kind of system that's not Switch-esque at this point going forward?
No, I don't think they will.
No, and so
I think there's a 0% chance of that.
Yeah, I think
they knocked it out of the park.
Yeah,
they did. Now the question is what's their online strategy?
Let's not talk about that because I could do a whole podcast about them on that.
Well, if you want, we'll love to have you back at some point in the future. We talk about Nintendo Switch.
The whole thing.
Oh, it's not even Nintendo Switch. We're talking about Nintendo's online.
Yeah,
services.
There it is, guys. All right, guys, look forward to.
Nintendo exhausts me because every once in a while they get something so right, but they've spent all the time in between practicing on how not to take my money. That when they get something right, I'm like, okay, take it, and they're like, well, we don't take credit cards. Like that's what it feels like a food truck, and you get to the front of the line, and you're like, well, we don't take credit cards. Okay, well, can you make change? No, I can't make change. It's like
their whole like chat, and then it's like for me like so. Happy brings up a good point. Like okay, he's got his docked. He's going to be playing it. If he's chatting with anybody, it could be through Discord or something, right? Like you just announced you're going back to Discord from the Twitch app. Is that right?
Yeah, because they actually just updated the Twitch app the other day, but I'm like, nope, too late.
They're like, okay, we're losing Happy. But it's like, okay, I will chat through that. But I was just sitting here like seeing these contraptions that people want to listen to the game audio, be able to talk to their friends. You need a phone. you need a phone plan, you need the Switch. Like, it's like, hey, here, you want a $2,000 solution so that you can do something that you could do over here for $500? Like, you know, it is so expensive when you break it down, all that is required for the Switch in and of itself to work. Now, Chemistry brings up a thing. He says that he's still waiting for the PC port, and this is kind of something we kind of alluded to, didn't really get into, but we had Chrono Trigger PC port, which is the mobile port, and people aren't happy with that. I have it. I'm playing it. It's okay. Like, it's not horrible. It's not what people kind of said as bad as it is, but but I look at Final Fantasy VI's PC port, and when we were talking back, and you were doing your stream up to go into 15, where you're playing through every Final Fantasy game. You were debating,
and I refused to play the Steam port.
That's exactly right. Like the 6 is such, like, that's where I look at it. I'm like, 6 is such a bad example, and then Chrono Trigger isn't great, but it's weird. It's like Square Enix has this weird mixed style between PC. Like, you look at 12. If you played 12 on remastered for PS4, right?
Yeah, I didn't play the PC remaster, which I heard they did a phenomenal job on.
Phenomenal. And then we'll see what happens. I'm interested to see what Happy says about the PC edition of 15, to see how that goes, because it's like, it's just so weirdly inconsistent. If you go look, like, my whole library for Steam, I have like pretty much all the Final Fantasies. The quality between them is so different, and I don't know what is happening and who's leading that conversation.
You draw out of a hat to see who gets supported to each platform, and sometimes that's a guy who knows nothing about that platform.
Yeah, it feels
well,
that way
unfortunately, guys, the PlayStation guy drew the PC card, so this is not going to be good.
Let's see what happens.
I played the demo for 15 PC, and it was beautiful for me. I've heard other people have bugs and stuff, but like, the thing I was most impressed so far with 15 PC is the controls are actually good for keyboard and mouse. I was shocked.
Seriously.
I was like, I'm going to play this with keyboard and mouse when it comes out. I'm not playing it with a controller.
Literally, wow, that's incredible, dude. Because
you know how I knew they screwed up with the PS4 controls? The jump and interact button are by default different in PC for keyboard and mouse.
Like, it is the worst. Like,
it's spacebar to jump.
Stop jumping.
It's spacebar to jump and left click to interact.
No, seriously, like, that's like, if nothing else, just make jump another button, well, and the thing is like, if like, so anybody who's watching us that doesn't know, like I am a huge controller fan. The only reason I think like we had any like our initial success on YouTube was because of controller guides. How do you play this job on a controller? You know, and it's like, and Chris is always trying to get me to play these other games. I'm like, can I play it with a controller? He's like, no. I'm like, I am a software engineer. I sit at a computer and a keyboard all freaking day. Yep. You know, and at the end of the day, I don't want to touch a keyboard and mouse. I want to lean back. I want to hold a controller.
I'm the exact opposite.
Yeah, I'm the exact opposite.
I know. I'm
all
I
want with an MMO is to know that I have at least this many buttons, if not the extended version. I want all of them. I bind everything.
Anyhow.
Yeah, I was shocked because, I mean, even certain things that seemed really simple, like, so with 15, to go through the menus, you use the scroll wheel. And for me, it almost felt like the controller way of doing it. Mm-hmm. Like, instead of like having to hover my mouse over to the exact word, just be able to quickly down left click and then I'm there. I don't know. Like, I'm sure people would prefer to there's people who would prefer to click, but it felt smooth to me. So did the combat. Everything felt smooth for me. The only thing that was a little bit off that I might rebind is the lock-on key. I think I'll probably put that on my mouse or something, as opposed to, I think it's G by default, and I'm not a big fan of the G key.
One of the things, and I'll let you get out of here in just a second, because one of the things that actually I enjoyed about 15 on the Xbox One is that I have a Pro controller, and I'm able to rekey some of that on the controller itself. And so, like for sprinting and everything like that, I'll actually grab it for the camera so you guys can see. I have it has a little switch up here that you can switch modes. So I had a 15 version specifically programmed to where I have this little button here at the back that I would use to do like lock-ons and stuff like that. So it just made it so much way more comfortable, because that's where it's like, man, 15 on the keyboard I think could work a lot better. It felt like there was one or two buttons short that they needed on a traditional controller for that game. It's ridiculous. All right, guys. I agree with that. Dude, thanks for coming.
Thank you again, Mr. Happy.
Yeah, no problem.
Hopefully we can get you back on again. We do this once a month, so like I'll be in contact. We'll probably look for something in the second half of this year if you're available. No pressure to say anything live. But again, I really appreciate it. Hopefully you had fun, and hope everybody in chat had a good time. Thanks for hanging out, everybody, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.
Take care, everyone.